Hey y'all. So I think I did this right. I'll see if anybody hops on. This is an unscheduled live, but I want to do a little house cleaning. Um, March 1st, uh, spit it out. Can't talk today. The month of March, Masterboard Madness 2026. I have been asked to come back. Hazel Anaka Design is the host of this challenge for the month of March. And I did post this on my community page, um, but I think this is too big in the picture, and I'll have to figure out how to make it smaller so you can see everybody. If I counted correctly, there's 36 of us, and on some days you'll see that there's two names, so you'll have two videos. So that's that. And I'm going to put this, let's see. My desk is a mess. And then this here, I ordered some stuff from Maddie over at, her channel name is Maddie's Paper Dolls or Madeline. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. And I don't want to butcher it. But I ordered some quilt magazines. So I got a little gift. Um, let's see. Free gift with purchase, some stuff that I can put into journals, a little envelope that I can fold up. That looks like a bookmark, and some things to put in some journals. So put that aside. Isn't that cute? You can even color it. Yeah, I'm almost positive that's a bookmark. Okay, and then what I ordered was quilt magazines, but this came with it too. And I'm not sure if I will make this, but for those of you that are new to my channel, I quilt also. And so these were just a bonus. This is not why I ordered it, but there are a couple of things in here that came with it. And then this here, I make quilts, so I seriously doubt that I'll make those, but those are super cute. And then a couple of different things. Yeah, those are the directions on how to do that. And then these here, it's from 1987. And this is really old, but it's got all the things to make quilts that I haven't made yet. And when I'm done, I can take these pages and put them in journals. And then here's the other one. This is from 1991. A whole bunch of different stuff. And again, the coloring on these, once I've made what I want to make, I will probably tear them out and use them in my journals. Okay, what else? Let me put that aside. So this here is made out of either Amazon packing paper or the paper that comes wrapped around the ream of paper. I'm not really sure, but I wanted to see how long it was going to take me to make this because I just did the Not So Valentine hop on Valentine's Day. Oh, I didn't even think to link that below. I will link that below. But I wanted to see how long it would take me to make this, so I could make one on camera. And I did make another one on camera, and I was able to completely put it together, but it's not decorated. This here, I was just going through some magazines that I have, trying to get rid of some stuff. And that actually is from a book. Some paper that I'd copy dyed. Actually, that's the leftover bottom sludge. And all of these that have pretty paper on one side are envelopes. So this is just scratch paper. And then more scratch paper, just leftover scrapbook paper. I forget where I saw this pocket made, but I suppose you could glue it down to a page. And I tried not to decorate this too much because it's already kind of chunky. Made a little bookmark out of leftovers. And so this one here, I actually made the pocket to a little bit bigger than the size of the window on those envelopes. But the one that I made on Valentine's Day, I did not make them that small. I made them the entire size of the envelope page. And so not all of them have pockets. And then this is just packaging. This here I put there because it's covering up some words that I didn't want shown, but I thought that was really pretty. And that's the back side of an envelope. And all these papers are dyed mostly with Rit dye or coffee. And I thought that was super pretty. But I'll probably do a cutout to cover that up. Hi, gorgeous. How are you? This was a random, I've been trying all day to figure out what to do. And I said, you know what, I'll just go live and do a show and tell. So this is actually a lanyard that I sewed down to a piece of scrap paper. So it's got 2 pockets on it. So what are you doing today, Sandy? Anything exciting? I was saying, so you don't have to go back and watch the beginning because I have been on for just under 8 minutes. I'm great. I'm trying to figure out what to do all day. And I've been sitting in this chair since like, I don't know, 10 a.m. my time. It's 2:40 right now. And my husband called and said, so you done? And I was like, no, I haven't even started yet. But I cleaned out a magazine, and so I happen to like crossword puzzles. But if I do end up selling this, the answers are right there. Although I should probably put a cover over that. But I was just doing a little housekeeping first. Packaging, masterboard. I don't know if you watch working on a journal for 14. Oh, that's awesome. I love it when people start crafting. That's actually how I started doing this is I was having a bad day at work and I just started trolling YouTube, and I came across card making first, actually. And all this is just scraps. Those are leftover edges. I forget what I was making with that, but I didn't want to throw them away because they're pretty. But then I found the junk journaling world. And then some things happened, and then I quit my job. So I do this full time now. And all of these are leftover papers. I forgot. I do have a video on that. Let me see. I forget who did it though, but they're charms. You just I just glued Scrimp and Mommy, I think, is the name for channel. I just glued down these rings to paper and then put glossy accents on it. Hi, Karen. I'm just, this is just a little house cleaning here, just showing a journal that I made. I didn't really want to decorate it too much because it's already getting kind of thick. But yeah, I was cleaning out a magazine. But I was trying to figure out how long this was going to take me to make because I did the Valentine hop, not so Valentine hop on Valentine's Day. I didn't even think to link that in the description, but I will. My time slot was 4, and it started at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time and went until the last person came on at 10 p.m. So it was over at 11. I had to take 2 naps. But this was my inspiration. So, but it's barely decorated, and look how thick it is already, right? Oh, awesome. Yeah, so this is the one that I made on that there. Um, I didn't really decorate this. Actually, I didn't decorate it at all while I was on the channel, but one thing I did different was these here. I made them the full pocket instead of just making it whatever size the window was. Yeah, and see this one is not oh, I'm not even in frame here. This one's not decorated at all. And this one is barely decorated, but it's it's got double pages, right? Like this here is an envelope, and so I covered both sides with paper. That side, that too is an envelope. But these here, I was cleaning, and so the very center of this, it needs to be decorated so I can cover up stuff like that. Right, this came from the IRS. Thank you. I don't remember what that was, but this was me cleaning. This was me thinking of you, Karen. Leftover paint, and I didn't know what to do with it, and I didn't want to cut it up, and so I just made a little journal so I could put that right here. And then this here, again, cleaning. This is I don't know what card came in this, but I must have been watching somebody, and this is scrapbook paper, but this is from DJ over at Hither and Yon. And then just leftovers. That's DJ also. Another envelope. Another envelope. Yeah, I must have been watching somebody doing envelope journals. Hi, Di. How are you? And so this one is going to go on this side. And then I'm also going to put this one in my Ko-fi shop, but I want to cover up stuff like this. And so, and then make sure that all the pockets are filled. Make sure I didn't glue them shut. But the beginning of this is finish it February, right? So this was just house cleaning, but I made a few things for finish it February that I was trying to start, and this I actually found. And if you don't know what this is, it says Case Logic on it. This was I'm sure everyone in the chat is old enough to know CDs. And so that's what it is. It's a CD case. And I made a little journal to go in it. And it's mostly just plain paper. But I was cleaning, so I had some acetate that I didn't want to throw away. There's some scrapbook paper and then just plain paper. And I was watching somebody, and I forget who it was, but she did something similar, but she had tabs sticking out, and I didn't like the way that looked. So, yeah, right, Karen. I didn't want to throw it away, so I figured I would put, and then you can hide it, right? Because I don't know about you, but I know my husband has read some of my journals, and they're personal, right? And so you can just have that sitting on a shelf. And then I found some little scraps of paper, and these are actually those what do they call it? A sachet, a fragrance thing that you put in your like lingerie drawer or whatever. These scraps here were really tiny and left over, and these are some of my favorite fabrics, and I don't think that I have any of it left. And so I had two of them, so I made two. Yeah, I just got my cinch like 2 months ago. And so I've made several things, but this weekend, I'm trying to, my desk right here is in the middle of my room, and I want to put it back against the wall over there. But in order to do that, I need to clean everything off from that wall and move it. And one of the bookcases that I had on that wall, I didn't realize that the only thing holding it up was all the stuff that was in it. And so it's now in the back to go to the trash. But while I was cleaning out the hall closet so I could put that stuff in there, I came across a couple of totes. And for those of you that don't know, I make quilts also. And all of these, I found this. I don't know how long ago it was that I made this, but this is kind of foundation piecing without paper. I had extra fabric left over. But all of these fabrics in here were just the little bits of leftovers from either journals that I've made or quilts. This here was a shirt that I really loved, but it got a big stain on it, and then I've gained weight, so it doesn't fit anymore. So I figured that I would cut that up. And so I think there's 20 of them here, if I counted correctly. And so I'm not going to sew this on camera just because I don't really have the room. I do have two sewing machines, and the one that I keep on this desk is for paper crafting, and then I have one across the. It's actually, my closet is huge, and so it's on a table in my closet, and that one is strictly for sewing. So there's no telling how long these have been put together, but I didn't want to throw this away, and it's extremely thin. And honestly, I didn't want to waste paper by foundation paper piecing is what this is called. And that way I don't have to throw that away. But this fabric here is really old, and there was some holes in it. So yeah, so this will be a 4, and actually, let me see if I can show you how it's going to end up looking. So they're in different directions, so they're going to end up being, if I turn them, it'll, I don't know if you can see that, they'll end up being a big X. Yeah, I can't get my, I don't want to move my camera, but yeah, so that'll be a big X. And then this was from one of the very first quilts that I made it for my husband. Okay, so that's the end of that. And then these two things I made, I follow Natasha from Treasure Books. Yeah, aren't they? Oh, hi, Dana. Dana was one of the ones that hosted the Not So Valentine's Day thing on the Not So Valentine's Hop. Yeah. So these are two of the things that Natasha has made that I really wanted to make. And so I used what I had. So I'll do this one first because the other one is a little bit smaller. But it took me forever to finish making this because I didn't really have the paper. I didn't know what to put in it. that kind of matched. But I think there's like 17 or 18 pages in each one. That's parchment paper. When I have to dye my paper in the house, I put it on parchment paper, and that's from the Rit dye. And then this is actually deli paper. I don't know where it came from. And then this is actually one page. I have a whole bunch of Braille books, and they are huge. Somebody asked me about selling them, but I don't know how much to sell it for. But if you're interested, you can always send me an email. And papers like this I got from Pam at the Paper Outpost. This one too, I think. This construction paper, I have no idea where it came from. Do things just kind of show up in your house? This here my husband bought me for Christmas one year. And this is also deli paper, I think. And I think I got that off Amazon. That's rust. So I made my own rust, and then it got lost in the shuffle, and I forgot all about it. And I made it probably 3 years ago. And I had to throw it away because it became a major science experiment. And it was bubbly. And I almost couldn't get the top off of it, actually. And this here was dyed with, I don't know how well you can see that because the sun is now coming out. I use Rit dye to dye a lot of my pages, and this was the sludge that was left over. So that's that. And it looks very similar to hers, but I obviously don't have all the same stuff that she does. And then this here is wrapping paper. And I did some embossing. I always forget that I have embossing powders. But I also found these while I was cleaning. I forgot I have those, right? Because we do own a business, and I do my own bookkeeping. I forgot I had those. But these are all just papers that I put on top of each other, so that's why there's different colors, but it's all construction paper. And then this is just leftover scraps. I'm so glad y'all joined me, because I was sitting here talking to myself for a few minutes, and I was like, should I go? Okay, that's that. And then for my finish at February, while I was cleaning, I found 12 journals that I have made that have not been decorated. So I finished decorating 4 of them, and I make a bag for all of them. And this one here actually is inside out. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So this was actually supposed to be the inside, and I glued it with white glue and a brush instead of Fabrifix because I hadn't had any. Yeah, doesn't she? So this was actually supposed to be the outside. And because I used the white glue instead of the Fabrifix, I had to wait for it to come in the mail. It didn't want to fold that way, so I had to turn it this way. So it is a little bit warped. And I can tell you, I really don't like using the white glue for that, but it's kind of warped. But Karen, I did this the other day. I forget what I was making, but this is the after effects of it. I was using my 5x7 gel plate. I probably should have turned the camera on, but I didn't. But I kept one piece of index weight cardstock aside, so when I put the piece of paper on the plate, I took this one and I would just rub it around the edges. Oh, I know what I was doing. You know what? I have no idea where I put them. I'll have to find them, but not right now because I have no idea where I put them. But I started a jigsaw puzzle and I forgot that I had a cat. And so some of the pieces were missing and chewed up. And so now I have a whole bucket that's going to be used for dangles. This is what I was doing. I had this paper pad. It was 4x6, I think. Yeah, that's all from the edges. And I took all those and cut them up and made them pockets. So this was what I was doing. 4x6 papers that I got from a marketplace with a whole bunch of other stuff. And um, I didn't like the colors, so I got some new stencils. That's what I was doing. I was using my stencils. But this is just an old one, and this is actually a card. And I found an old calendar, and I actually counted out the days and put the matching number on each page that it was on. And this is just leftovers. This was actually watercolor. I had this really cheap set of watercolors. to the Yes, she is. I actually have I don't know, 10 or 12 paintings that I've done, which I started that uh, after I started quilting. But then I was working two jobs and I just really didn't have the time, and that's not working for that. So I'm going to put this on here. And I also have one that's not finished. But I was following Cinnamon Cooney, and she passed away. I'm not really sure what happened because I stopped following her for a while because working two jobs, I didn't have time for myself. But here's more of that. And I love the way paint feels on paper. But this is I think that's bedding. I'm not really sure. The rest of it has lace on it. What is that? It is. Slapping paint on paper is so much fun. This is just leftovers that I didn't know what to do with. And I have a ton of digitals. I can tell you that this one came from Graphics Fairy. But most of them, and that's just a stamp that I have some colored pencils. This came off a bag. More slap and paint on paper. I didn't really like the way that these looked, so I just put some stuff on there. No rules, right? Absolutely. This here is the very first paper pad I ever bought, and it was so pretty. I ordered it for a long time. Um, but I did that because it was double-sided, and it was really hard to choose. This was just pink sludge leftovers. I think this is Dear Julie Julie. And I have, yeah, this is Dear Julie Julie too. I have no idea where that came from. I tend to collect digitals and not know where they came from. This is also slap and paint on paper with some stencils. Yeah, here's another one of those. You can't even tell what color the paper used to be, but I think this one was blue. But they were like, it was like blue and orange and greens and yellows, and they were primary colors, so they were super bright. And I didn't really like them. Oh, upside down. Okay. I was just messing around. And this here is actually two tags put together, so you can use it as a bookmark. And these just appeared in my craft room. I have no idea where they came from. They were in a stack of like 50 or something. Prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. So that that prayer is kind of important to me. For those of you that don't know, I am in recovery, and my 10 years is right around the corner. I'm super excited for that. That's watercolor too. So yeah, this watercolor that I was using was very um gritty, and I didn't like the way that it was coming out, so I diluted it in water, and I just put the paper in there and let it stay. And those aren't really holding it well. Yeah, thanks. Um, 10 years, I can't believe it. That's a long time to not have a drink. This here, I think, is DJ at Hither and Yon. But what's really cool about it is my husband's best friend is coming in from out of town, and I'm celebrating on March 4th at the meeting that I go to. And he's going to be here. So he's going to get to see me pick up my 10-year coin. I'm excited. And then him and my husband are going to, I think, Bike Week. So I'll have the whole house to myself for a few days. So I'll get to do nothing but craft and sleep and eat with no interruptions aside from letting the dogs in and out and making sure the cat is fed. Here's another one of those papers. This was orange with yellow flowers and dots all over it. And if you hear strange noises, Twiggy is right underneath here. Yeah, lots of cake, lots of coffee, and the guys are at Bike Week. Oh, this here is a card that had a prayer on it. But Twiggy is underneath my desk snoring. So, did I glue something in there? That is glued in there. It's not supposed to be. There we go. So this is just an extra piece of paper. Wow, she's really getting it. Can you all hear her? And I just sewed that to that card there. If you can't read that, it says "Life is a beautiful ride." That's one of my favorite pieces of fabric, and I did get it at Walmart years ago. You can't hear her. She's pretty loud. I'm surprised. That's just leftover papers. These are getting out of shape. That's why I keep changing. All these will be put up in my, well, you know what? I keep forgetting that I have a website too, which I don't have that linked. This was a set of cards. Isn't that pretty? Monet. I just covered up that. What else? Pretty. I got that from Walmart, that pad of paper. I think it's like 9 by 6. It's an odd size. And then this I found already decorated. Yeah, I was kind of upset that that bookcase fell apart. Because now there's a huge hole right there and a bunch of stuff in my living room. Yeah, here's some more of those. I was thinking of you, Karen. I should have turned the camera on. I didn't think about it though, because the husband was snoring in the living room that day. So these are just leftovers. Yeah, so that calendar was from 21. And oh, here's all the extras. That's also stencils. Oh, this here was, is that 2 pockets? It is. That one doesn't have any acetate behind it though. That's actually a rug from a magazine, picture from a magazine. And here's the rest of those, but you can't really see that. And this is just stuff I was cleaning. Didn't have anything else to put in there. So, and then that there. I don't have anything in that pocket. Oh, let's put this in that pocket. And it goes there. And this one goes in here. And I put tea bags in all of my journals that I sell. All the background noise. Yeah, yeah. I don't think you were here when I said it earlier. I was sitting here since 10 o'clock a.m. before I turned the camera on because I was like, first I have to clean my desk and then I have to figure out what to do. So that's that. I'm surprised you don't hear. But, and then this here. And I think this was one of the earlier ones that I made because this one actually has batting in between it. And I did that because it's a food box, actually. So this one only has 2 signatures. And a whole bunch of colors in there. This I think is Graphics Berry, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, there's a pocket there too. That's from Jessica at Paper Terrace. It was a freebie that she had early on. She was actually one of the first people that I found. Jessica, and then Maddie, and then Natasha. And then there's so many others. I just found Raven Vintage the other day, and she's doing a 100 ways to use your scraps. So I'm gonna see if I can't try and do that too. So I think I did put that down in my description. It's from magazine. Oh, there's a double belly band. And then a pocket. That's from Pam's Paper Outpost. And I have no idea where that came from. More of that pretty paper, just a card. Oh, yeah. I don't know why I started making bags. To be honest with you, but I want to say this was an old CD case. I want to say that I started doing that because one of the very first journals that I made, I gave it to one of my friends on her first birthday. So one of my sobriety sisters, and it was so big that I didn't know about closures. And so I put it in a bag because it was a gift also, but because I didn't know how to make it stay closed without without spilling everything out of it. So I think that's why I started making bags. But I've actually changed the way that I make bags because let me show you on this bag here. So there is a buttonhole right there, but my buttonholer on the machine that I was using at the time, it was just eating my fabric, and I was putting elastic through there, but I realized that I was having a hard time trying to figure out how much elastic to actually put in there and still be able to get the bag or the journal in the bag. And since my buttonholer was stopped working and it started eating my paper, I decided not to put elastic in them anymore, which actually makes it easier to take it in and out. And this is just all leftover scraps. Oh, that's from a magazine. I don't know where that came from. Oh, there's another one in there. I have so many magazines to go through that have so many pretty pictures in them. Because I think most of them are, well, I do have a lot of friends that save their magazines for me. But I had a subscription to Better Homes and Gardens at one point. Oh, that's a coffee filter. That's packaging. Yeah, we don't use coffee. We have a K-cup machine now, so I don't use those. Oh, that's per that rust thing. That's paint. What's this? Okay, so that is an envelope with a pocket there. Oh, that must have been a master board. And then another pocket there. That's a tea bag right there. This is some of that watercolor paper. Or it's regular paper that has been dyed with gritty watercolor. I think I still have some too, but that was before I found you, Karen. And let me see, I think I have it right. This here, I took them all out of the palette, but I don't know where this came from. It just kind of showed up in my house. But it made the paper gritty. So I decided to just dilute them. It's packaging. This here was the back of a sticker. So all these little things had stickers in them. And I took the piece off and left the stickers on the page because I liked the way that looked there. That's also on a master board. Oh, I forgot. Oh, that's a pocket too. Oh no. Okay, that's the pocket right there. That's the other side of that page. It's just scrap paper. Yeah. Oh, here's those stickers. I think that came out of a grabby box, but I was tired of peeling off one little sticker at a time. But yeah, things just kind of show up at my house. Although my husband has started putting things on my desk. He's kind of afraid to walk in here anymore. So I actually have a table right next to the door. And I don't know whose this is. Might be Eddie Makes Art. Might be Becky Bokern, I think is her last name. Yeah, he is afraid to come in here. That's pretty funny. But he's tired of me picking stuff out of the trash, so he just puts it on that table. Although things have shown up on my desk, but he came in, or I got up one morning and he put his hands on his hips and he goes, "Honey, we need to talk." And I said, "What's the matter?" And he said, "We need a bigger house." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "I just looked into your craft room." And he said, "How can you find anything in there?" That's Rick Dye. I was like, well, I know where everything is, and that's really all that matters, right? It's just leftover. Isn't that pretty? I don't remember what. So I sewed it to the top, which I don't know what I was thinking, but this is a shirt. My cousin had asked me one time if I would make her a memory pillow from her dad's one of her dad's shirts. And so I said sure, but I had just started sewing, and so I asked my husband if he had a shirt, a button down. I think they're called Oxford button down Oxford shirts or whatever that didn't fit him that I could practice on, and so that's what he gave me. And this here, I dried it in the oven. That's where those lines came from. And then, oh, here's the tea bag in that one. So yeah, this was a long time ago, number 60. I don't even know why I started numbering them. I think probably because I'm lazy and I don't want to name them. Um, I don't know who it was, but somebody asked me how to make the perfect bow, right? And so since I have y'all here, let me just show you. This piece that's coming from the left to the right has to be underneath, and then you take the one on top and make sure that it's on the top from the other side, and then you make that bow, and this goes behind. If you put it this way, it's going to be wonky, so you put it behind and then you pull it out, and then both of them will lay down there. I don't know if y'all knew that, but how long have I been on here? Oh, not too bad. 46 minutes. Okay, let's see. And then this one is a bed sheet. And I don't know where I got it, but I want to say it is vintage. And this one is, this one's got a lot of broken jewelry on here, and then some wooden beads. And this says Faith. Yeah, so when I first started doing this, I was talking to a friend of mine and I was telling him what I was doing. This was a few years ago. And I told him that that I was using charms and whatnot for my books. Oh, thank you. Yeah, isn't that pretty? And he asked me if I knew anybody that wanted to buy a whole bunch of jewelry, because he used to make jewelry, but he stopped because I don't know why he stopped. He just said, I have a whole bunch of stuff. If anyone is willing to buy it, and I said, I'll be at your house on Saturday. And he had so much stuff that I had to call my husband and ask him if he would stop at my friend's house on the way home, because I couldn't fit all the stuff in my Jeep that he had. And so I will never run out of beads. And I don't know where all these digitals came from. But that was a digital that I didn't like, so I made it into a coin pocket and glued it down to the other side so you couldn't see it. I have no idea where this came from. Maybe DJ? Maybe Debbie from Ink and Page? Not quite sure. This here is a Sears and Roebuck reproduction from like 1902, but it was printed in 1967, I think. I found two of them. I keep forgetting. They have this new consignment shop up in my little town. My town has two red lights, and it really doesn't even need either one of them. Oh yeah, Natasha. Little button. But I found them there. And I also found a scrapbook from the 1920s. And it was kind of falling apart. But when I got up to the counter, the lady said, "You do know that this is a scrapbook." right? Like not what you see today. And I was like, I know exactly what this is. It's got vintage yellowed papers in it. And I think the earliest, this is a napkin. I think that there's like newspaper clippings and um, what do they call them? A bill for like not movies, theater or whatever. Your town has no red lights. Yeah, ours doesn't really need a red light. Here is a silverware bag from a restaurant. I was wondering why that was so tiny. Yeah, this might be Debbie over at Ink and Page. I honestly have no idea. This is gel plate print, which I have. I have 4 gel plate prints, gel plates. 2 of them are 8 by 10. One of them is 5 by 7, and then I have a 12 by 12 because I do have a lot of 12 by 12 paper that I don't like. Yeah, isn't that great? But I also found a whole bunch of lace doilies, and I did buy them all, but they're like huge. So I'm not quite sure. I just found them and I was like, I'm just getting them all. But they're definitely going to have to be cut because they're too big to make just one journal out of. This is Graphics Berry, I'm almost sure. CD case. This is Graphics Berry too, with just dyed papers. And this is that streamers, party streamers. Yearbooks. Yeah, I don't have any yearbooks. 16 by 20 gel plate. Yeah, that's huge. I don't have enough room for that. These here were gel plates too, gel prints also, but I didn't like the way they came out. But maybe one of these days, Karen, you and I can get on with our gel plates. I'll break them out, kick the dogs out, make sure that I have room on the floor. One broken gel plate. Oh, the corner is missing. Yes, I saw that on one of your lives. Somebody asked you if you chewed the corner off of it. And also, I was thinking of you, Di, because remember I said, yeah, we'll get together on that, Karen, because that would be a lot of fun. Um, Remember I left one of your or I commented, Di, that you changed your time, and you said that you didn't change time because we did, and daylight savings time is right around the corner. So I'll be able to start watching you again on Thursday nights. Only because since you guys don't change time and we did, it kind of interferes with my meetings that early. So I'll be able to start getting back on Thursday. But your Wednesday one comes on right as my Wednesday meeting is starting. So that's why I don't get your Wednesday one. This is all leftovers. And yeah, see 139. There's no telling when it, oh, I think that was supposed to be a card, and it's not anymore. Now it's a pocket. But this here, okay, this here is made out of chipboard. Yeah. And these, I haven't figured out how to make it so these don't get all tangled up. And that's the back. But yeah, I'm glad that I decided to start making bags. The only problem though is one bag is not one size fits all because each journal comes out to be a different size. And so I actually have to measure it. Um, and yeah, definitely email me, Karen, because I know that I have a few things going on this week. And so not this week, but maybe next week. I'm not really sure. I'll have to look at my calendar. But yeah, Di, I can't wait to start watching you on Thursday again because I like the interaction in the live chat. This is a necklace that I didn't want to take apart because all those tiny little beads. And then there's other beads on here too with a bunch of stuff that I got. I don't even know where all this stuff came from. But that's cardboard. That's a graphics fairy. Oh, this here I dyed with Karen, I think it was you. Yeah, each one is unique. I think it was you, Karen, that said put those little papers in a paper bag and put paint in there and then shake it all up. I think that was you. I did that with um, this fabric here because the fabric was super white and I didn't know how to make it because the I tried using this here, but it wasn't working how I wanted it to. So I just put these in a paper bag and I sprayed them with some oxide spray and I shook it all up. So yeah, I thought that was you. That's just a magazine picture. Coffee dyed. Oh, this is a piece of scrapbook paper, and this is Debbie from Ink and Page. Probably should take notes on all these so I can add them to my description box. What do we have in here? Oh, that's packaging. My husband threw that away. Can you believe that? It was a box. I think it had Christmas presents in it. Right, and this here, I have a whole bunch of construction paper that I didn't really, it was like just super primary bright colors. And so I put them all on top of each other in a container and poured coffee over them. So they all came out different colors depending on what was on top of what. But most of these journals were made with leftover digitals. Yeah, this is definitely Debbie from Ink and Page. And then I got little hearts here. Because I tend to get a digital kit and then only use maybe not even half of the kit itself. This is gel plate print too. And that came out of a magazine. And that's lace, laminated lace. I have a whole bunch of jeans. I put that there. Love yourself first and the rest will fall into place. I don't know where that quote came from, but it's covering up information on the back. But I have a ton of jeans. I had some friends text me and say, hey, I got some jeans. Do you want them? They got a hole in them or, you know, whatever. The belt loops fell off. So, okay, there we go. I should probably cut that off. That got stuck on something. This is Rit dye. Oh, and I forget who I saw do this, but that's a pocket in there made into a tag. That's a rug from a magazine. Oh, and a little pocket with a little bird. It goes this way so the beads will come out that side. Yeah, it's kind of bright, but oh, this came out of a magazine too, or a book actually. I think it was fences. I'm not really sure. I don't have the books anymore. This is packaging here. Sewn on. This had stickers or something in it. And so I just sewed it down to a piece of cardstock, or scrapbook paper rather. This came out of that same book. I want to say it was like a Life magazine book. And this was from a scrapbook paper pad. It had a whole bunch of different sizes on that. Oh, this is actually from a photo album. It was a kid's photo album. And I have the rest of them around here somewhere. I'm just not exactly sure where they're at. This was the box that my husband threw away. Can you see how pretty that gold is? That came from Dear Julie Julie, I think. And just scrap paper, because I don't want to throw it away. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. This is Debbie from Ink and Page. And I don't know where this came from. I really should sort my digitals by person. Oh, this comes off. Okay, so there's a pocket there and a pocket there, but this is a whole 12 by 12 piece of paper, just folded. I got this idea from Dear Julie Julie. I used to follow her with her when I first started doing this. I followed her with she does a challenge every month, and that was one of the things that we had to do. There's two scraps. Okay, it was there. Something like that. Oh no, that goes there. I guess I'm missing one. It'll show up. These are all just leftover pieces of scrapbook paper. I do have some really cool pictures from that. I bought a whole bunch of books from Goodwill. Oh, these are all scrapbook papers that I got from Marketplace, and there was a lot of them in there that I didn't like. Here. Oh, this is just extra paper that I sewed together, and then live, create, tell the story. I think this is Graphics Fairy. Yeah. So earlier today, I got a text from my pest control guy to let me know that he's coming tomorrow, because last month he had a new person with him, and I didn't see the guy that normally comes, and so I called 911. I felt really stupid, but he was just standing there by my back door, you know, and I had no idea who it was or what he was doing. And I called my husband first, and he said, no, the pest control guy is supposed to come. I was like, that is not the pest control guy. Oh, you're in voicemail. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to have to call her back, so I'm going to have to go soon. But this is also from that book. It goes this way. I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know if you can see it, but there's writing on the back of it. So I glued it and then sewed it down to a piece of paper. Yeah, that's my insurance lady. I forgot I texted her yesterday. And isn't that pretty? It's from magazine. It's a sticker. Yeah, see, I made this last year, but I didn't decorate it until this past week. Okay, that's all the ones that I have finished. Oh, that goes this way. This is also, must be, I can feel the sides there, so this must be chipboard also. But there's one more thing that I wanted to show y'all. I think her name is Kathy. She just popped up in my feed the other day from Raven Vintage. And so I wanted to start doing her 100 ways to use your scraps. But I've only got the book together so far. So this was actually a master board, and I painted it. Well, no, actually, I stenciled it first. There's newspaper under there. And I don't remember what it was talking about, but I saw something that I didn't think would be appropriate. And so then I painted it once the stencil dried. And then these are just leftover. This is Graphics Fairy, and that's Graphics Fairy, and that's a bed sheet, or pillowcase or something. But I had all these single-sided ones, and this kit here is Junk Journal January 2026 from Debbie over at Ink and Page, and I thought they were really pretty and that they kind of went with that. And so I took all the digitals that I had that just are on one-sided. I don't know where this came from, but that's Graphics Fairy. And so I printed all the other sides with which I didn't finish that one either. That might be Graphics Fairy, I'm not really sure. But I don't know where that came from. It is old hand. Oh, I think a friend of mine gave that to me a long time ago. 1977. Yeah, that's Graphics Fairy. So, that 100 ways to use scraps. I don't even know where I put the, yeah, I don't have it right in front of me. But I can show you the very first one that she, did, maybe. Do I have any scrap paper? Scrap paper, okay. Keep my scraps in here. I'll just make the first one that I saw her make. Let's see, what do I have here? It's kind of blue. Anything blue? Big enough? Oh, we'll just use this. This is pretty. Oh yeah, that was a really pretty paper pack. I don't remember what it was from. Okay, so I think she's only going through like April 15th. Where does that go? Goes that way. Okay, so I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut this to about right there, and we're gonna gusset it. This is me not measuring. Oh, and that'll make a really pretty card. Okay. So I don't measure at all, so I'm guessing that if I put a 1/2 inch, let me see if a 1/2 inch will do. Perfect. Okay, 1/2 inch. So then I'll do a 1/2 inch on that side too. Yeah, I'll see. I think I, if I did it correctly, I put her in the description box, but I need to find my list. I'll see if I can't link that. I know I linked her channel, but this was the first thing, and it's just using up your scraps. So this is Fabrifix. When I filled it up, I didn't put the lid on correctly, and half of the glue came out. Okay. So hopefully, by the time I'm finished with that, this whole book will be filled up because since she said 100 ways, she's got a list of 100 things, and so I made 5 signatures with 5 pages, so there's 100 pages each. So I have 1 page for each way she's going to use scraps. That's the only one I can remember right this minute. So yeah. Yeah. I hate it when that happens too. So yeah, I have to call my insurance lady back because I texted her yesterday and said I hate to bother you on a Sunday, but she called me back. I really need to get in touch with her. So I will find that list, and if I can figure out how to do it, I will add that to my community page, or at least her link so you can go and print it out yourself. Because I can't say that I'm going to do a video every day, but if they're that simple, I can probably do 1 video a week on that and still be caught up because I have not even finished my junk journal January from from the last 2 years. That's crazy. Okay. So thank you all for coming. Yes, Karen. Yeah, Karen. So my email is just thumbprintcreations@gmail.com. So just email me and we can maybe I'll give you my phone number if you're lucky. Yeah, no, that'd probably be a good idea if I gave you my phone number and then we can just chat that way because I don't know how to do that through Messenger. But if you use Messenger, then it's Carrie Lee, Lea Henry, Carrie Lee Henry through Facebook. So y'all have a great day and thanks for hanging out with me. I'm glad I didn't have to sit here and talk to myself for an hour. But I will get back with you, Karen. And you know what? Actually, let me just look real quick because I think daylight savings time is March 8th. So die very soon. Hi, Michelle. I'm just getting off. Team replay. Oh, I'm glad you could stop in and say hi. There is absolutely no reason why I can't get on here absolutely every single day because I just sit here in this chair and go, what can I make today? So I'll look for that list from Raven Vintage, and yeah, I need to because I think it was Karen who said just turn the camera on and do something. People will show up, right? Just do what you do. So I'm gonna hop off now and call my lady back, and I will hopefully see you tomorrow. Yeah, just do it. Absolutely, absolutely. I gotta find that list, and then we'll have. I think she's across the pond in Ontario, so yeah, absolutely. I know, right? Karen got a lot of us going. I knew what you meant. I have a really big glare there, which is why I'm trying to rearrange my craft room because I need to put this on that side, and I can't do that because the wall is over there, and that's where the elect, uh, the plug is to plug this guy in. And yeah, actually, my battery's about to die, so I really have to go. Heading over to start your live. Okay, I need to make some phone calls, and hopefully, I'll be able to pop in there. What time is it? Yeah, I'll be able to get on there for at least an hour. Bye, y'all. I love you.